Today's video will be about your pets, specifically your farm animals, and what are their favorite activities to do with you. Hi, I'm Sunny, and I have 4 piles you guys can choose from left to right, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video. Otherwise, I will start with the first pile. So, pile number 1, you guys have the 4 of Pentacles upright. So your favorite activities, well, your farm animals specifically that I'm channeling, their favorite activities is an activity that relies on them staying in one, like not one place, but that they like to be in the home space. I feel like they're kind of greedy in a sense where if you feed them stuff, they want to offer themselves and they don't like sharing, or they have to have first dibs. Not that they're the fastest one. I definitely think they take their time in getting something. Like, let's say if you call to them, they take their time in walking to you because they know that they can be demanding in a sense. But they also know that if you feed them something, like let's say hay, you feed them hay, they're the first one that has to have dibs on the most quantity. It's like me first. It's not fiery, it's just that they're very greedy with the resources that they have. So they want to have the most space to sleep in, they want to have the most space to eat in, the most attention, the most care. So it feels very much like they're very protective of that space that it belongs to them. It's like they want to own, exactly, they want to have ownership of you, of your surroundings, of where you have them. So it's kind of a funny personality because they let it be known. I think when people see your specific farm animal that you're thinking about, they let it be known that they're the boss. They're the ones that you should actually, look at. So it feels interesting that the most funnest activities that they would consider is like, what's fun to them is being given stuff like that makes them feel like they have a lot to grasp on. So I feel that they want the most attention, the most care, the most, like, if you're caring for them and brushing their hair, they want to have their brushed hair all the time. Or there's someone that might be the I keep thinking of donkeys and horses, where you can't give attention to somebody else without them getting jealous, and then they get territorial, and then they get mean, and they'll be snarky at that animal, or like mean and like push them away. It feels like that, where it's like, no, it's just me kind of feeling. Or maybe it's kind of hard to keep too many animals near them, because it can also be that they just hoard attention to themselves. I think they're not very good at sharing. Very territorial. I think even it gives off like a Taurus energy too, that they can be very territorial once they like people, or once they choose the people that they like. It's like they are very protective and territorial of those people. So thank you, pile number 1. Pile number 2, you guys have the Judgment card reversed. So pile number 2, excuse me if you saw my band-aid. It's like falling out. So yeah, I'm sorry. So pile number 2, your fun activities, the fun activities that your specific farm animal that you're thinking about that they like, has to do with the fact that they like being praised to some extent, but maybe like in private, or like maybe when you're alone. I think it's kind of difficult sometimes I don't feel that you're necessarily the kind of person that is just taking care of them by themselves. I mean, in any scenario, most of the time farm animals need more than one person to attend to them. So I think that if it's the scenario, they show their true colors when they're alone with you, or they're alone as a species. So it could be like that, where they might be skittish and stuff, and be a little bit scared, be a little bit more shy, introverted, or be someone that's not very easily trusting of people, who just has very low confidence in connecting. I think connecting with others, connecting with other animals, and maybe that's why they're a little bit to themselves sometimes, not because they necessarily want to, or sometimes because they're overly needy. They tend to like be pushed out from other like animal circles, or just also with like human interaction, where they're so needy that they're like together with you. So they're very codependent maybe, but I do feel that they're someone that has established a deep connection with you, and the fun activity they would consider fun is basically being told like that they're pretty, or that they're being treated fairly, or that they're being cared for. They want to feel that they have that value. It's like Venusian energy wants to be valued. I know this isn't specifically the Venus card, but it just feels like they want to know that they're special. They want to feel like they are your world, or they want to feel that they have not they themselves, but they feel that compassion and understanding that they will be left alone if needed. Like they need their space sometimes, so they want to know that they are understood in a way where they won't feel like they're attacked, or like people are very aggressive, like not aggressive, but like people are very like upfront with them, and they sometimes need some time to warm up. It feels like your specific farm animal, needs warming up to people, warming up to other animals, getting to feel them out, because they sometimes are scared that they might not be liked, or they might be scared that they might not be respected with their boundaries. I think they may be, for example, if they were rescued, for example, you don't know their backstory, or you know some of it to know that they have some emotional setbacks, for example. It could be psychological too, but it feels like for specific people that, you know, they just are someone that's very skittish, or maybe they had like a mother that didn't want them, and you know they feel a little bit hurt and sad. Not sad specifically now, but like previously they were in this moment in time where they felt like they needed nurturing, or they felt like they needed attention, and they correlate certain things with certain things that they felt early on when they were younger, right? So it could be one of those things where that's why it would explain why they're skittish. It would explain why they're more introverted. It would explain why they're more to themselves, a little bit more private, isolated. But it does feel like they want to be part of a group, but it's just kind of something they struggle with. So thank you, pile number 2. Their favorite activities. Did I say their favorite activities? I'm sorry. More than likely, sorry. The activities that I'm channeling is just being, I did. Basically being told that they're pretty, they're beautiful, they're cared for, that they're being understood, overall that they're being cherished and loved and appreciated for all that they give. So pile number 3, you guys have the 9 of Pentacles upright. So pile number 3, I think I should have I didn't see how far out they were. Sorry, pile number 1 and 2. So pile number 3, you guys have the 9 of Pentacles reversed. What's the favorite activities for your specific farm animal? Their favorite activities might have to do with them being a little bit more active. I think they enjoy active work. Usually if it's upright, it feels like you're enjoying the leisures of your products, and this particular animal you're channeling does enjoy that, but it feels like they like the, not the groove, they like the hustle of big. Maybe I just think they're a working animal. Example, I would also consider like a herding dog a working farm animal. Okay, so example, if you have a herding dog and they love running because they have to make sure that they corral the sheep or something, and they got to push them back to their pens. They love it. They love knowing that they have a purpose. I do think they like doing a lot of fun stuff, but specifically something that keeps them more active. I don't think the sedentary sedentary or sediment, am I saying sediment? Sediment is soil. Sedentary. Yeah, I think it's sedentary. I don't think the sedentary life is for them right now. Doesn't mean they're not open to that. I think that you still have a few more years before they want to like slow down. And even if they're older animals, I think that they take their time. I think they don't want to just go into retirement just because you're telling them go. Like you can relax. Like no, it's not time yet. I think they would tell you specifically pile number 3 when they're ready. I think you'll get hints, and their personality is just keeping them very awake and alert, very active, and that's great because it also makes them feel younger. And overall, I do feel that they like being active animals. They don't like being like I know it's funny because you would think like, oh, they like to indulge in stuff, but I don't think they necessarily like to indulge in like being overfed and stuff, because it doesn't make them feel that great. I do think they like to stay active and in motion, and if they overeat, they're not gonna feel that great. Like example, on their joints, or if they're running or they're playing around with you, or play around with other animals and they have to be rough. It's kind of those things where it wouldn't be to their best benefit. So I do think that they enjoy things that allow them to be active, stimulated. They like stimulation. They like feeling like their skill sets are being used. And of course they're also private. It feels like they pick and choose certain people to show these attributes to, and not necessarily everybody. I think they're choosy, they're fickle in that way. They could also be moody, but you understand them. I do think that there's an understanding of what they want, what they need, what they desire, and you complement each other by understanding, like, okay, well, if you want this amount of time for yourself, great, but then I need you to do this, like help me out with like rounding up the animals, like I said, or help me out by making sure that you let me know if you need something. Like if something's off, you kind of know. Or if you're a guard animal, make sure that the nights are being guarded, right? So it could be one of those things where you notice that they like having a purpose. Maybe they're workaholic. Maybe not, but sorry. Let me just drink some water. I'm sorry. My throat is terrible. I take short breaks of water anyways. So I do think overall that they just enjoy this vibe of being a helping hand. I really do think they enjoy helping you out, but of course they're a little bit more choosier when it comes to who they allow to help. Like, it's not that they don't want to help everybody, but it feels like they choose the people that know that they will get more special treatments from, or they know the people that will actually be a little bit more touchy-feely, or like they're going to be pet after. So they're choosy like that, or they're also choosy with the fact that not everybody gets close to them because they can have quite a temper too. So take what resonates. Thank you, pile number 3. So pile number 4, you guys have the Lovers reverse. So oops, let me just I forget I should cover these. Okay, so with the Lovers reversed, you can't even tell anyways, but whatever. Okay, so what is your farm animal's favorite activity? I think that I can't help but think that you're channeling a cat, even though that's not specifically a farm animal, but maybe they're around the farm a lot and they like to be around the other animals. It just feels like if you're channeling that, it's that kind of vibe. But overall, I do think that this animal likes to have their space. They're very independent, very I think they could be feisty. They're likable. It's a likable feisty though. I think that you like their charm. There's a charm to their eccentricity. But I do think that they really do like overall to have their space. They don't like it being around other people. They don't like being around other animals because they get agitated easily, or they hate that they have to work. It's like it's not like they don't want to work with other animals. It's just that they think they're too much. So they already are a lot to handle. I think that they thrive better in independent situations. They got that bit of a lone wolf type of vibe. So it could be one of those things where you tread with caution when you know that they're being stressed, for example. But overall, I do think that they're very into themselves. I think that they enjoy the activities they like. Knowing is that they like being fed into their ego, like they're the best, right? Like, imagine if you have a cow and the cow is like very much into being appreciated a little bit more than the other ones, having more attention to themselves, being a little bit more selfish, a little bit more like, not me, but like but it does give me that me, like just me, like not them. They're not that important. They're not that cool. It feels like that. Very, very funny. So I just think that personality, they are loving and stuff, but it feels like if you want to receive some affection from them, you have to kind of put a lot of energy and effort into them first, and like pet them, or like brush their hair, or like milk them, for example, or spend some time with them, but it's a lot more time that you're investing in them than they are investing in you, and you know that. It's like a lot of effort for a little reward, but it's very special reward kind of system. So it feels like that, where like it just gives me cat like vibes, where it's like you can try to invest yourself a lot, but you know at the end of the day, they're prickly. So they have a prickly personality, but it's like, you can pet me but don't go away kind of thing. So it feels like that, where they really value their independence. They're a bit of a lone wolf. They do like that. They are loved and cherished, but they do that at a distance, at a space where like they know it, but they don't need to be constantly like, they don't need to constantly be touched and stuff, like affection, like super touchy like they don't mind the distance. It's like I feel it, I feel the love, but you know, that's okay, I got a distance kind of thing. So it's kind of funny. That's the kind of fun of activities that they like. It's like, appreciate me at a distance, appreciate me, but like focus more on me, and then focus on me when I'm alone, and then focus on me when it's just like nobody else. Like it's very, I don't feel necessarily they're as introverted as the other piles. Some of them were. I feel it's more so they like being loners. They really do like being alone for the most part, which is interesting. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in a different video. So bye everyone.